My, female 23 mom married my stepdad when I was 12. He's okay and he and I have a cordial and friendly relationship. On the other hand, his son Danny is an idiot and a bully. The best day for me in that house was the day he went away to school. I've not had to spend more than 3 hours with Danny in the last 8 years. He was only home in the summers and I was with my dad or his family in the summertime. Anyway, he managed to convince a poor woman to marry him. I received an invitation in the mail and immediately responded with an emphatic no. His mom called me to ask why I wasn't going to attend. I said I couldn't afford it and didn't want to go. Other than her, I will have no actual relatives there. My stepdad got on the call and said he would pay for me to go on the trip. I asked if I was going to have to share my room. He said no. I asked if I was supposed to do anything other than attend the wedding and reception. He said no. I asked if my invitation included a +1. He said no. It was $2,200 for single occupancy or $1,800. He sent me $2,200 to book my flight and room. I would only agree to go if I could book my trip, so there was no mistake, and I somehow ended up with Great Aunt Gladys in my extra bed. My boyfriend scraped up $1,400 and we booked the trip. I didn't mention it to my mom. We ended up having a great time. We did a bunch of excursions, and I attended the wedding and the reception by myself. I participated in the family pictures and I danced at the reception. I was social and even had dinner with my mom and stepdad one night. My boyfriend used our resort bonus cash to book a solo excursion to some rum distilleries, so he was busy the day of the wedding. I had dinner with my mom last week and she brought up how rude it had been to use money meant for me to spend time with the family to subsidize a vacation for myself and my boyfriend. Apparently, I was expected to eat every meal and attend to all the wedding stuff. I reminded her that I didn't want to go in the first place and only agreed after I was told I was only expected at the wedding and the reception. She says that my stepdad is upset that I pretty much ignored everyone for the entire week. I don't think I did anything wrong. Am I the idiot because I used the money my stepdad gave me to attend his son's destination wedding to subsidize a vacation for me and my boyfriend? Not the idiot. You attended the events you were asked to. Your boyfriend paid his way. You asked specific questions, abided by the answers without objections or complaints, showed up and did your part cheerfully. Flawless execution. It's called killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Many people do this, especially those who go abroad for a business trip and might combine some personal vacation since the airfare is already paid for. And it's an excellent malicious compliance. Opie, you did exactly what was agreed upon, whether or not your boyfriend was there. You kept up your end of the bargain. They made a deal with you, thinking they could push you into a different deal because you'd be alone. They acted in bad faith, and disappointments based on bad faith agreements are the fault of the person acting in bad faith. The next time they think you were rude, tell them it was rude of them to agree on something with you and then expect something different, and they should apologize. If they'd wanted you to attend all those extra events, they should have made that clear in their list of conditions when they gave you the money. You met the social obligation to which you were invited, the wedding. Your boyfriend did not obstruct any of the events, and hence it's fair game. I assume you weren't invited to any other event, so why would you go? The blame for that is on your stepbrother for failing to invite you. It's the height of bad manners to push in where you're not wanted. Girl, you played by the rules. You were an angel to allow stepdad and bully stepbrother to maintain the facade of a happy family. Tell mom that. I've worked at a small local business for almost 12 years now. We have about 8 employees and are currently short-staffed. About 3 weeks ago, they hired a woman in her 50s who we will call Karen. Karen, in the beginning, was very appreciative of being hired, as her husband is out of work following a car wreck and their home is in the process of foreclosure. She stated she'd been searching for employment for months, but no one would hire her because she had 0 employment history. She was a stay-at-home wife, no kids. In the beginning, Karen and I got along well enough, but stuff hit the fan last week. She stated she has 5 dogs and I commented that I don't like dogs and could never have one as a pet. I told her I liked other people's dogs well enough, but could never have my own. She took it as a personal attack apparently. She turned around in her chair and avoided me for the rest of the shift. That night, my phone started blowing up with Facebook notifications from her. I don't have her as a friend on there. She was going through and laughing, reacting at every single photo of my children that was posted as public. Tagged photos. If that weren't bad enough, she then comments underneath a photo of my youngest, infant, You don't like dogs but you like these ugly things. And another comment not even 30 seconds later on a photo of my son and daughter saying, Gross. I screenshot everything and then blocked her. The next day I went to my boss and handed over my phone with all the screenshots pulled up. I tell him, either you fire her right now or I'm gone. I refuse to be in the same workplace as this witch. Well, Karen just happened to walk into his office while I was in there, and he immediately told her to collect the items from her desk and leave. She asked why, and he pointed to the screenshots on my phone and said, "This is why." She started scolding me, of course, because I got her fired when she desperately needed the money because they would lose their home and no one else would hire her, and she can't believe I'm being so sensitive and that she just wanted me to feel how she felt when I threw in her face that I don't like dogs. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. She harassed you. Taking shots at your kids is beyond unacceptable. Karen is now the newest member of the Screw Around and Find Out Club. Maybe she will learn from this, but I doubt it. It's pretty disturbing that she took something said that made her angry at work, and she actually went on the internet to find this person and cause problems in their private life. It's messed up and it's also creepy. Boss is lucky they had a very easy, quick and legal way to let her go immediately. He even has the printouts. I can only imagine how it went when she went home and had to tell her husband why she was fired from her new job. You know she lied to her husband. I'm betting the story was along the lines of, "I got fired because my co-worker doesn't like my dogs." Honestly, I suspect that someone surprised that harassment will get her fired is the kind of person that's hard to hire. I doubt her lack of employment history had much to do with her financial woes. That's what I was thinking as well. A woman in her 50s who has no employment history yet has no kids? That's suspect at best. She doesn't play well with others. Plus, she's clearly not right in the head for stalking somebody because they don't want to have a dog. Singling out OP's children is particularly disturbing. It wouldn't surprise me if Karen couldn't have children, is therefore envious of OP, and took OP's comments about dogs as an insult to her fur babies. Cringe. I wouldn't want to be around an obsessive nut job like that, let alone work with one. So, I had a recent exchange with my daughter Anna that has left me questioning my actions. My daughter is now 20, and our recent conversation unearthed some unresolved feelings from her childhood. During Anna's upbringing, I was not the present father I should have been. My relationship with her mother, my ex-wife, was tumultuous. The constant conflict made it challenging for me to be there for Anna in the way she needed and deserved. I acknowledge my shortcomings and regret not being more involved during those formative years. Presently, I'm remarried to a wonderful woman who has a daughter from a previous relationship. Although not biologically mine, I love her as my own, and we built a loving and supportive family together. I've consciously tried to be the best father figure I can be to her. Recently, Anna confronted me about my absence during her childhood. She expressed feeling neglected and unimportant to me. She conveyed her wish that I'd fought harder to be in her life and how my lack of effort has deeply hurt her. Her words stung, but I understood they stemmed from her pain. In response, I explained to Anna that it wasn't solely my fault. I shared with her the challenges I faced in maintaining a relationship with her mother and how it impacted my ability to be present for her. I also emphasized my deep regret for the pain I caused her. However, Anna remained unsatisfied with my explanation. She accused me of not caring enough to overcome the obstacles and fight for her. While I understood her perspective, I felt she overlooked the situation's complexity. I expressed to Anna my desire to move past the past and focus on building a better relationship with her in the present. I apologized for my past mistakes and reassured her of my commitment to making amends. However, she seemed fixated on the past, unwilling to let go of her hurt and resentment towards me. Am I wrong for wanting my daughter to move on from the past and focus on the present? I genuinely seek to repair our relationship, but I fear Anna may be trapped in a cycle of pain and blame. You are the idiot. You are the parent. It is entirely your fault that you didn't fight more for access to her and to be there for her. You also just want to dismiss her feelings on the matter instead of accepting the hurt and pain you caused. So honestly, you aren't doing any better than you were. I want to ask, what is it that you think you did well enough? Because from the sounds of it, you didn't do a whole lot of fighting for her and just accepted what her mother said. You also went on to get into a relationship with someone else and treat that child as your own, which just proves to your daughter that if you wanted to try, you could. Yep, he doesn't mention apologizing, but he mentions several times how difficult his ex is. I bet that Anna brought up the stepkid, and Daddy Dearest here probably said something that implied it's easier for him, granting Anna the triple whammy of not being worth fighting for, being difficult, and knowing her dad is perfectly capable of being a dad and just doesn't choose her. It sounds like he has a habit of writing people off if they don't make life easy for him. He wants her to build a new relationship with him, but he won't deal with the past. And if he has to deal with the past, then he doesn't want the future because he doesn't want the reminder or the hassle. Dude, you just need to own this and stop trying to mitigate your responsibility to your daughter. I, 28 female, met my fiancé, 28 male, during college, and we have a great relationship. Last year we got engaged and we're planning the wedding for this fall. While he had an awesome dad and lovely sisters, his mother is a sore spot for him. She's separated from his dad. From what I've heard and witnessed, the family doesn't get along much with her. If you met her, you'd understand why. She's super judgmental and rude and barely has a nice word to say about her kids, let alone me. Unfortunately, my fiancé, being her only son and the youngest child, is her blatant favourite. She wants him to be mommy's boy, but he's not that way at all and does a great job handling her and keeping his distance, which he honestly prefers. Upon news of our engagement, she was super excited but very uncharacteristically. We then all realised that she wanted to frame the whole day around her. Think, everyone should be praising me for birthing this boy. He couldn't even get married without me. From there, the craziness ramped up. She was coming along with him to tux fittings, trying to plan out the music, even our first dance, and getting angry at me for daring to choose a dress she didn't like. The rest of his family and I were beginning to toy with the idea of uninviting her based on this behaviour, and as wrong as it kind of innately feels, this is a pretty exceptional case. Honestly, her actions were starting to make us dread our wedding. A further incident a few days later, where she told her son she wanted to walk me down the aisle so she could have a moment with her son at the altar, made me, my future husband, and my future in-laws snap. We recently arranged for her to come over to our home, where my husband and I sat her down and gently explained that we no longer wanted her to attend the wedding. She got really angry and immediately flew off the handle at me and not her son, as though I was the one who had influenced the rest of the family to uninvite her. My frustration at her boiled over, and without shouting, I stood up and told her that I wanted her to stop yelling and that she had no right to speak to me as she was. When I realised she was about to blow up again, I cut her off with, "In case you don't know, I'm the one marrying your son, not you." She didn't say anything else, she just snatched up her bag and left. She hasn't spoken to me since, but she's trying to get her son to change his mind. Believe me when I say he will not. It wasn't until I blew up at my mother-in-law that she stopped her idiotic behaviour. I should have done it 30 years earlier. OP, I wouldn't care what she thinks. It seems everyone agrees she shouldn't be at the wedding. P.S. You may want to hire security to keep her out. I would also ensure you have passwords on all your vendors and stuff so she doesn't try to go in and change things behind your back. Even if your mother-in-law apologises, butts out of the wedding plans, and promises to be on her best behaviour, she should still not be invited. Any attempt by her to appease you and your future husband will only be a temporary manipulation tactic to get her way, although she doesn't seem to have the wherewithal, even temporarily, to act like a decent human being. She is delusional, and if given even half a chance, she will find a way to do something ridiculous to upstage you at your wedding, turn up in a white dress. It's high time your entire family cut her off. We are a group of 5 friends going on a vacation together, embarking on a 9-hour flight. I have a back injury and have been in pain for a few days. Luckily, my airline membership grants me access to a premium economy seat, offering more comfort. 3 of us in the group share this membership perk. Now, the challenge arises as one couple in our friend circle has a different membership level, requiring them to sit separately. The boyfriend in the couple suggests a seat-swapping arrangement to ensure they can sit together on either the departure or return flights. While everyone has agreed to this plan, I question whether it's fair for me to surrender my premium seat considering my back condition. Am I the idiot if I refuse the seat swap in this scenario? Not the idiot, keep your premium seat. The couple that's so desperate to sit together can figure it out. If everybody else agrees to the plan, I'm not sure why you're involved. How many people need to swap seats for them to sit together? 2 other people with premium seats can swap with them, and you're not involved. However, don't be surprised when everyone who's agreed to this plan suddenly changes their mind if their premium seat is at risk. Don't let them bully you. I'm sorry, but just because you want to sit with your spouse does not mean you have to. But if you're so codependent that you cannot live without sitting next to each other, then by all means call the airline and pay to upgrade your ticket. LOL, right? Before the flight, we have to sit together. After takeoff, husband falls asleep and the wife watches Netflix. Okay, yeah, sure, you have to sit together. Seriously, the back pain is irrelevant. Expecting others to give up better accommodations because they want to be cheap is an idiot move, regardless of any other detail in the story. How convenient it is for them to demand accommodations that benefit their comfort at the expense of others.